Hi everyone, welcome to Gnan Cloud Garage. In this session, I'm going to talk about how to scale up and down memory for SUSE KVM guest, or we can call KVM virtual machines using graphical user interface and command line interface. Okay, first we'll talk about the graphical user interface method, and then I will talk about command line interface method, how we can scale up and scale down SUSE KVM virtual machines. So within our demo environment, our SUSE KVM is running on one of the HPE Synergy compute node. On top of this Synergy compute node, we are running the SUSE KVM version. Okay, and let's quickly recap our KVM virtualization architecture. As we are aware, within our hardware, we are using Synergy 480 generation 10. On top of that, we install the operating system, SUSE Linux Enterprise Server SLES with KVM modules. On top, we are running a multiple virtual machine. This is our demo infrastructure. Okay, and how we are going to edit or how we are going to modify or scale up and scale down memories. Here we are using one important tool that is called VRSH tool. So what is the VRSH tool means? VRSH full form is virtualization interactive remote shell, a command line utility for managing virtualization. The main use cases for this VRSH tool is managing virtual machine lifecycle. That means VM start, all the start, stop, suspend, resume, all the virtual machine operations, and configuring the virtual machine settings. And in addition, this VRSH tool will also helpful for the troubleshooting the virtualization issues. Okay, so during our discussion, I'm going to use VRSH tool now. Okay, let's quickly log into our lab system. Let's say I connected to our SUSE KVM host. Okay, SLES means SUSE Linux Enterprise Server KVM. Okay, kernel virtual machine host. Okay, so now to verify the virtual machine, what is the virtual machines running here? To open the GUI method, all the virtual machine information, the quick command is varsh space watch manager. To verify the list from the command line, vrsh space list space hyphen hyphen all. When you type the list, you can see the current running virtual machines as well as power of virtual machine. Okay, and the same information, if you want to see graphical user interface method, we need to type the command vart watch hyphen manager. When you type virch-manager, it will launch the virtual machine manager. For example, if you want to increase the memory on any virtual machine, there are currently two power of virtual machine and few running virtual machines. We can take any of the example of one virtual machine. For example, if you take the first virtual machine, min IO. So this min IO, the main important point here is if you want to modify, scale up or scale down the virtual machine memory, it requires virtual machine shutdown. Okay, suppose even if you want to try to increase or decrease the memory, it will clearly says need to power off the virtual machine. So to before power off, I will just quickly show you that warning message. How we can edit is just go to the edit virtual machine detail. So I already selected the VM as min IO, and we go to the edit setting. So if you want to edit here, go to the virtual machine, go to the view, we have to select details. When you select the details option, we can see overview, OS information, performance CPU. There is a tab for memory tab. When you select memory, currently the virtual machine memory is assigned approximately 4 GB memory. If you want to try to modify this memory, let's say I'm just roughly modifying to rough value, let's say 4096. I just modified this value to 4096. When you click on apply, it will give us the error message. It says some changes may require a guest shutdown to take effort. Okay, this point I highlighted. So we have to shut down. So how we are going to shut down? Select the virtual machine, go to the actions tab, shut down. Okay. So currently we initiated the virtual machine shutdown. Already in the graphical view, we can see shutdown is completed. Even from the command line, if you want to verify varsh list space hyphen hyphen all, we can see min IO is in a shutdown state. Okay. Now again reopen the virtual machine manager, and to increase your virtual machine memory, go to the edit virtual machine details. So within the virtual machine details, memory if you want to modify to 8 GB. So generally 8 GB means we have to increase the value to 8 GB. If you have an idea of what is the value for 8 GB, you can enter the value here, or else alternatively, you can just search in the Google. If you want to modify to GB to MB, you can just type in the Google. We will find some converter tools like convert GB to MB. Let's say we current our memory is 4 GB. We are planning to increase to 8 GB. So you can select, you can type 8. So that means 8 GB, the MB value is 8192. So you can copy this value 8192, go to our virtual machine manager and paste the value 8192. 8192. When you type this value, just click on apply. So value is applied. Once the value is applied, you can just close this wizard, go to our virtual machine manager, select the min IO, and you can just click on power on button. So power on the selected virtual machine. See, now the min IO is a running state. If you want to open again, open the min IO VM, you can see memory is already increased. This is the scale up procedure. Suppose if you want to scale down, instead of using the min IO VM, we'll test it on another VM. For example, there are another two VMs are powered off state, SUSE 008 and SUSE firewall-1. Let's take the example of another VM, SUSE 008. If you want to modify this VM, go to the view and we can use here, or else go to the edit virtual machine details. When you select the virtual machine details, currently guest is not running. Reason is VM is in a shutdown state. So we are going to modify the virtual machine memory. So currently we are going, earlier we increased the memory for MinIO VM from 4 GB to 8 GB. Now I'm going to show you how we can decrease the memory from 6 GB to, it is showing as MB value. That means it's approximately 16 GB. I'm going to scale down to 8 GB. So 8 GB value we just now tested. The 8 GB means within the MBs it's a 8192. So we can use the same value here. Go to the virtual machine manager and you can type the value. Let's say the value I'm going to modify is 8192. So maximum memory allocation also same value 8192, apply. So once we apply, this memory SUSE 008 value is currently scaled down from 16 GB to 8 GB. So now click on close. If you want to power on this VM, select the VM, just click on the power on button. So when you click on power on button, SUSE 008 is running state. To verify the memory, how we can verify? Go to the edit virtual machine details. When you go virtual machine details, it is showing as 8 GB. Okay, so this is how we can do it, the virtual machine memory scale up and scale down using the GUI method. But GUI method means we are using a virtual machine manager console. Okay, the same procedure if you want to do it from the command line wizard. So how we can do is I just close this wizard and also close the GUI options. Now I will show you from the command line methods. Let's say for example, let me type again the same command because we just know power on the MinIO VM and also the SUSE 008 VM. We'll verify the status from command line. VRsh space list space hyphen hyphen all. When I type this command, see the MinIO both are powered on state. Now if you want to do the command line testing, we'll try to test it on SUSE firewall shutdown 1. This one also same method we can use for either scale up or scale down, same procedure. Okay, so if I want to increase the scale up and scale down, we have to first verify how much memory allocated for this VM. So how we are going to verify is you can type the command virsh space dom info. This dom info means this is the complete virtual machine domain information, and you can type the VM name. Let's say our VM name is SUSE firewall 1. This is our virtual machine name. When you type this command, dom info command, this command will give us how much memory is allocated here. See, the memory allocated here is 8 GB. Suppose if you want to increase this memory, how we want to increase, let's say 8 GB, if you plan to increase to the 16 GB. Currently the values updated here is the KIB values. So units within the KIB units. So we need to enter the value within the KIB units only. If we plan for 8 GB to 16 GB, first we need to get the what is the value for 16 GB KIB. So that value again, type in the Google GB to KIB. When you type GB to KIB, we'll get it here, or you can type it here. When you type 16, you can find the value here. If you are unsure here, you can use the any of the tool to get the convert. Let's say same tool we can use, convert GB to kilobytes. So let's say the value is 16 GB. So this is the kilobytes value. So let me copy this value to Notepad. This value I'm going to use to modify from 8 GB to 16 GB scale up. So how we are going to modify is, we have to type the command VRSH space edit space our virtual machine name. Our virtual machine name is SUSE Firewall 1. So you can just copy the VM name and paste it here. So it will show you the virtual machine edit settings information. Whatever we did it using the GUI, the same information, VM will show all the VM information in a XML format. Within the XML format, you can press insert. We are going to edit here. So our memory value here, it is showing as KB. It is a 8 GB value. So this value we are going to modify to 16 GB. So what is the value we are going to modify? 16,777,216. The same value you can enter here. So remove the existing value and type the value. It's equivalent to 16 GB. Same way you can update in the current memory unit as well. Remove the 8 GB and modify the 16 GB value. So 16,777,216. It's equivalent to 16 GB memory. So you can escape :WQ to save the settings, :WQ exclamation mark. This is for save and quit the value. So to verify, if you see here in the result, when we type vrsh edit the virtual machine memory setting, it says domain SUSE firewall 1, this virtual machine XML configuration edited. Okay, so the settings, whatever changes we done, it's already updated. To verify the value, again you can type the same command. Okay, vrsh domain info and VM name. When you type this one, if you see the value, earlier it is equivalent to 8 GB, now the value is 16 GB. This is the scale up procedure. The scale down also same procedure. You can use the edit command and modify the value 16 to whatever the value you want to down, you can modify. Okay, so hope you got an idea how we can scale up and scale down. Scale up means using the GUI method, or scale up and scale down using GUI. We have to use virtual machine manager wizard. That is one option. And second option, we have to use vrsh edit option. Okay, hope you understand the both methods, how we can do memory scale up and scale down. Okay, so let's back to our slide. Let's quickly recap what are the commands we used. vrsh is a virtualization interactive remote shell command. To see the help information, we have to type -h to start the virtual machine from the command line vrsh start VM name, and to shut down vrsh shutdown VM name. And for the domain information, we use the command. This is the command vrsh domain in dom info VM name. And to modify VM settings, scale up and scale down, we use the command vrsh edit VM name. Okay, and for the graphical wizard, we virtual machine manager graphical wizard, we use the command vart-manager. To list all the virtual machine, we use the command vrsh list space --all. Okay, so this is the overall view for modification of virtual machine memory scale up and scale down method. Okay, that's it. Thank you. If you're watching this video first time, please do view, like, share, and subscribe to the Ignite Cloud Garage channel. If you're already subscribed, I appreciate all your support. Bye for now.